Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming a book review. This is the book review for the month of December. I know it's a little bit late, but I hope you guys don't mind that. This was the best month yet for videos. Not videos, for books. Literally, I have so many 5-star reads. I love every single book I read this month. I will do a little disclaimer that all but one of these books are indeed romances. Okay, so the very first book I read was Better Than the Movies, and this book was so good. It is a very hyped up book, but it did not disappoint. I think it deserves all of its hype. It was so good. Something that I loved were the quotes at the beginning of each chapter. There would be a quote from like a rom-com. I'm not a huge rom-com person, but there were like a few quotes from 10 Things I Hate About You, which is one of my favorite movies. I loved that. The quotes were so cute and they were so fitting to each chapter, so that definitely gave this book bonus points. I just wrote down so cute in all caps because it was just so cute. Wesley, the like main boy character, was just adorable, and it's like someone that I would fall in love with, and that's kind of like always what I look for. I'm like, am I attracted to, like, do I want a Wesley in my life, you know? And I 100% did. It was a enemies to lovers, but I will say that there were lots of tropes in there. There was like a fake dating trope, enemies to lovers, even like you could say friends to lovers. It just had like a combination of lots of different tropes, which I absolutely loved, and it was so cute because it was kind of like girl has a crush on boy that she thinks hates her, but then in reality boy has been crushing on the girl for like years, and it was just so cute. The ending, oh, everything about it was so good. I highly recommend this book. Okay, last thing, the chapters were long. Some of the chapters were longer, but I did not notice, and that is a good sign because I know it is a good book when I'm reading and reading and reading and don't even notice that there is a 60-page chapter. So I rated this book 5 stars, 100%. It was absolutely amazing. I recommend to everyone. Okay, the next book was a Christmas book. I didn't read like too many Christmas books this month, so don't worry. This isn't like November where they're all Christmassy. This one was My New Crush Gave to Me, and this one was so good again. The main trope I'd say was like a love triangle. She was kind of going back and forth between like two boys. It was kind of about this girl who wanted this boy and so she used her friends. Were they friends? Okay, wait, now I can't remember. No, they weren't friends, they were enemies. Okay, this book was Better Than the Movies in Christmas form, and I didn't even realize that. Like, I did not know, and I read them back to back, and I was like, I'm reading the same book but the Christmas version. It was again enemies to lovers, and it was the love triangle where she was kind of going between two boys. And then I loved the like Secret Santa element. The whole plot was like this girl had gotten or rigged it to get Teo for her Secret Santa, and then JD and Teo were close, so she needed JD's help to get Teo the perfect gift so that Teo would fall in love with her and she would end up with Teo, her dream guy, you know. Now, I will say that I was team Teo, I don't know how you say his name, but not JD, not the enemy, the one that she wanted from the beginning. I was team Teo until the last chapter, you guys. I was like, no, I'm gonna be disappointed, like this is not what I want. But the last chapter completely changed my mind and I jumped onto team JD. So this one really had me like on the edge of my seat. I don't know if most people experience that, but I was very like on the fence, flip-flopping between the boys. I really liked that. Also, I wrote down, how do these girls get the guys they want and more? Because in both of these books, they got the guys that they wanted, and then they ended up falling in love with another boy and getting both, and then they're picking between two. And here I am, can't even get a single guy. Like, it is so frustrating to read. I'm like, I rated this one 5 stars as well because it's literally better than the movies in Christmas version. The next one was probably my favorite read. I don't know, there were so many good ones, but this one was What Light by Jay Asher, which is the guy who wrote 13 Reasons Why. I haven't read that, haven't watched it, probably won't ever, but I've heard like great things about it. This was a Christmas book, however, you don't have to read it during Christmas time. Like, I read a summer book in December, therefore you can read a Christmas book in July. But this was so adorable. The main character, like the boy main character that she fell in love with, his name was Caleb, which I just have a thing for Caleb's. Like, Caleb from Pretty Little Liars has my whole heart and soul, so I was like, this is gonna be a good book, like, just based off his name. And it was so good. I was absolutely in love with him. Like, I need him. There was amazing cute quotes, which I'm gonna start writing them down. I got a reading journal, so I'm gonna start writing quotes down because I never have them for you guys. I just say there's cute quotes and then can't quote any, but I just remember there was cute quotes. The whole kind of like plot was kind of about like second chances and forgiveness, because Caleb had like an incident where he had almost stabbed his sister when they were younger, and so Sierra's family and friends were like, girl, what are you doing? Like, he is known to be like a psycho, to be dangerous. But she was kind of like, no, like, he's not like that at all. Like, I swear he's changed. Like, there's a good side to him. And it was just like very honest. Like, he told her the incident and it didn't cause this big eruption, because something that drives me insane in books is when they just erupt and fight and they're like, I hate you over something so small, and then they're like broken up and they're like hating each other, and then they like come back together more in love. Like, I'm not about that. So this was like, he told her the incident. It wasn't like an eruption of like, oh my god, how could you not tell me? Like, your plan was to murder me. Like, oh my god. He was so like honest and respectful and sweet. I was just in love. There was kind of a build up of like, oh, have you heard what he's done? And then you're like, wait, like, what has he done? So I really love that kind of thrilling aspect in it. I could not put it down. I read it in like 2 days. It was probably my favorite read. Like, it was absolutely amazing. And the cutest ending, oh my god, like, the ending was so cute and perfect, and I remember it so distinctly. That's the thing, like, I forget 70% of the books that I've read the endings, because they all just like gel together and melt together, and I'm like, wait, I don't remember. Like I said, it was cute, but I don't remember. This ending I remember, will always remember. It was absolutely adorable. It was everything I dream of. She just found the perfect man, and it was the cutest romance book with a little bit of a thrilling aspect. I rated it 100% 5 stars. So we literally started with 3 5-star books. The next book we read was Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. Okay, this one, I think the romance wasn't my favorite in it. So it was like a mother-daughter who were close in age. The mom had her daughter at a young age, so they were like close. They had a very big, great, strong bond. And then in the book, while the daughter starts to fall in love with people, like get a boyfriend, and then a tragic accident happened. Spoiler, her dad dies, so her mom's husband, her dad, and then also her auntie, so her mom's sister, end up dying in a car crash. So then it's kind of like their bond is breaking, it's shattering, they're fighting more. They're obviously grieving the loss of 2 very important family members, and then the teenage girl Clara is like growing up, right? So it's just like they're kind of growing apart, and that was, I'd say, like the main theme of the book. It wasn't like I wouldn't say necessarily a romance. There was romance in it for sure. The daughter ended up falling in love with Miller Adams, I think that's his name. So they end up together, which they were cute. They were definitely cute. I liked their relationship. And then the mom ended up falling in love with her sister's husband. Were they married? Or maybe just engaged and they were getting married. Whatever, they had a baby together. Her sister's like baby daddy, she ended up falling in love with. And I was like, that is disgusting. I hate that. And Chris, the father of Clara and the husband of the mom who died in the accident, was best friends with the boy that she ends up with. And I'm like, girl, your husband died and you go for his best friend? Like, that's so low. I hated that. So that definitely bumped it down a little bit. But the plot twists in it were great. My jaw was dropped multiple times on the floor. There was an affair happening. There were lots of plot twists that just kept coming. So I loved that element. I gave it 4 stars. That was my least favorite book of the month. The next book that I read was Prince in Disguise, which this is a Christmas book as well. I read this book actually on Christmas Eve and Christmas, and I really liked this one. So it was set in Britain, I think, like somewhere in there. And so the American girl in this story fell in love with the British boy, and it was so cute. He was so cute. The flirting in here was very like my type of flirting. It was a very sarcastic flirting. The trope, I don't know. They weren't enemies. They pretty much met and then started flirting and then ended up together. Like, I don't know what the trope would be for that, but the British lingo in it was super cute because he was British and they were like in Britain. It was like really cute. I loved all the little lingo that they used. And then the like plot kind of thing was that the main character's older sister was on a show called Prince in Disguise, where she fell in love with this boy that was actually a prince in disguise, and it was like a whole TV show, like who can the prince in disguise get, and then they fell in love, blah, blah, blah. Then they had to go to Britain to get married. Like it was somewhere where like English people are, I don't know. But then they went there to get married and to film, and so she dragged her little sister along because she was like, I'm getting married, like you're not missing my wedding. So she ends up meeting a little British boy there. There were adorable and very cute quotes that I could not quote for you, but they were adorable and very cute. There was like spice early on. There was kissing early on, which I did like because, you know, it wasn't like you read 300 pages and then the last chapter they finally kiss. This had like a great amount of spice. I'd say it had me hooked again. I read most of it all in one day, honestly. It was very charming. He was very, very charming. I was like, I need myself whatever he is. Like, where can I buy you? Thanks so much. I did give it a 4.5 stars, so it was super cute. The next one is The Way I Used to Be. This one, trigger warning. Big trigger warning. This had sexual assault. The girl was raped by her brother's best friend. At the very beginning of the book, it was the very first scene. It wasn't like too graphic or anything. It was like appropriate, but it just obviously is like a very sensitive topic. I will say it was hard to read, not as in like my brain hurt, but like my heart. My heart just hurt for her. Like, my heart couldn't handle it. This horrible thing happens, and then she goes years. It was split up into 4 parts: freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, and she goes like 4 years pretty much without telling anybody, because obviously when you're in a situation like that, they manipulate you. Like, if you tell anyone, they threaten you. And so she didn't tell a single soul, and she had to go through this and like grieve it and try to find herself again and go back to the way she used to be on her own. It was really like brutal to watch and read just how much she hurt. You just wanted to help her. You were like, girl, like, please tell someone. The ending, however, was very satisfying. She did end up telling someone. She ended up getting justice. It was a very like chilling, like I just got chills in the last few chapters. Actually, not even the last few chapters. It was like the last 100 pages. I could not put it down. It felt like 10 pages. Like, it went by so fast. I was so hooked. It was so good. Yeah, the one thing I will say is there were no chapter numbers, which made me mad, because I like to see like, oh, there's 36 chapters, there's 368 pages, that's 10 pages a chapter, you know? I love to visualize that. And there were no numbers, no names, no nothing, so that was a little bit. But overall, it was great. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was very like different to something that I would read. It still obviously had some like romance in it. Like, she did end up having a thing with a few other boys, but nothing really lasted because she was obviously a wreck, obviously traumatized and very much scared. But I'm happy I read it. I don't know if I would read something like that again just because it was a lot for me, but I am happy I read it because it was a very good and like inspiring read. Okay, and then the last book I read, ending off with a bang, was The Summer of Broken Rules, which I know it's like a summer book in December, but hey, like, read what you want, okay? This book was so cute. The whole like main plot of it was this girl Meredith, her sister had died a year and a half ago, her older sister Claire. So they go to this vacation spot with all their friends and family and cousins and all of that, but then last year they didn't because her sister had died. So this was the first year back in 2 years, and they were going for her cousin's wedding. She was getting married. Well, Meredith was there with her family and everyone back for the first time in 2 years. Everyone missed her. She ended up meeting this boy named Whit, who, oh my gosh, I'm in love with him. Like, I need myself a Whit. He's so cute, so sweet, so patient, so respectful, so attentive. What is that word? What is that word? No. Attentive. Yeah, he's so attentive. He was just so adorable, and they had only known each other for a week. It was only a week vacation, but it was like a realistic week. They didn't say I love you in that week. So it wasn't like just this unrealistic, oh, we're kissing, making out, making babies, and saying I love you all within a day. Like, it was not like that at all, which I like because I don't like the unrealistic of like, I love you so much, it's been like literally 2 minutes, but I love you, you know what I'm saying? The book layout was nice. It was just by like the days of the week. So Sunday had like a few chapters, and then Monday, and then Tuesday. So it was like multiple chapters in a day, which I did like. It was very entertaining. I was very thoroughly hooked. And then there was this whole element on the sidelines. Well, it was actually a pretty big element in the book. I'd say it was one of the main plots, but they played assassin. That was a big part of it, which was super fun. They had like a little assassin pact going on. The ending was very cute. They did like an epilogue at the end that was 1 year later. They did separate, like not break up, but they were long distance, so they kind of put like glimpses of the love letters that they had sent to each other, and it ended with them meeting up again at the same spot for the same summer vacation a year later. So it was super cute, a super fun book. I would definitely recommend this one. Also has a ton of hype on TikTok, and I think it does deserve the hype. I rated it a 5 stars. Okay, that is all. I know this video is longer than normal, but these were just all so good, so I had to talk about them for a while. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I am so excited for January's video. After this, I'm just like on the biggest like reading kick ever, and so I'm very excited, and I'll see you in my next one. Oh, also Happy New Year. Bye!